get into a little different finish on our double leg flare drill. Everybody with me on that drill? So now we're going to step in and get a Turk. Because the thing we're going to get down is I'm going to show you how an inside step turns into a high crotch. When my partner changes his defense, we're going to get into Turk finish on it. Because what's better, 2 points or 5 points? 5 points. Okay, I'm just checking to make sure that 5's still more than 2. So instead of just taking him down, we're going to try and take him down to his back. You might as well try anyway, right? You're going to get the takedown. So let's try and score back points on it. So, real quick, without a partner, real fast. On my flare drill, what do I do with my hips? Pop them, bring them to the party, right? What do I do with my hands? Flare in front, right? Make a half circle in front of me. So when I'm looking for Turk finish, one hand is going to flare, and the other one's going to like karate chop myself right between the legs. They call it a feed flare. I'm feeding his leg between as I step and get my Turk. So we're going to stay in our double leg drill. Where does my face start in double leg? Chest, right? My butt's down. I got a foot forward. So I'm going to make my 1-2 step, get into his armpit. I'm going to shuffle to shift his weight again. I'm going to shuffle, bring my hips in, but this time instead of flaring both his legs in front, I'm going to do this slow. I pop my hips, I start to drive, I flare his outside leg, and I feed his inside leg. As I do that, watch my left leg. It's going to step big, and I'm going to hook above his knee. As he goes to the mat. Is my knee on the mat? Move. Is my foot on the mat? Move. Try and keep it up. My partner is going to try and belly down as much as he can. And what I want you to focus on is cutting his leg in half with my knees, with my thighs. I am squeezing him like crazy. Now, as I'm finishing this, I don't make a T. I don't make an X. I make a skinny X. So my head goes to his head. I push in the small of his back, and I pinch like crazy on my Turk. My hips stay in on it, and I'm pushing on his small back. Don't worry about elevating through yet. I've got it. I've already got the turn. But everybody worries about this part, and it gets too loose. See how a foot fighting out and slide his knee? What makes your Turk work is his hip not being able to turn flat to the mat. He can turn his chest down all he wants, but those hips stay like this, and then I'll attack his head and I'll get him. This just finishes it off. So again, I'm in my double leg. I'm on a 1-step. I'm on a 2-step. I'm going to say shuffle. I'm going to say shuffle. I'm going to say flare and feed. Outside leg goes up. Inside leg, I feed it right to my legs. It's a big step with the leg I'm trying to turn. What does my partner do? What do I do with my knees?
Keep them off the ground.
I try and keep that elevated knee off the ground, and I squeeze like crazy, pinching that leg. I take my head to his head to make a skinny X, and I push on his hip, on the small of his back, to keep it from turning. So everybody got the finish? So we're going double leg, flare to our Turk. It's a big step as I go, guys. I'm going to walk you through the steps, and I'll cut you loose. Any questions? First guy gets set, double leg position. Take his leg between mine. It's like I'm hiking a football really terribly badly. I'm going between my legs. The flare is great. My other hand feeds. That makes his feet split. And the other thing is we've got to step big aggressively through his legs. I don't step down by his foot. I step up by his knee. So bigger Turk step, better flare hands. Everybody got it? Sometimes I don't give you the mental picture, so you have to think in the words too. It's important. You got to get it both ways. Mental picture in your head. See that flare hand coming in. See yourself doing it. Don't put your hands in your pockets. I can double leg. You can't even stop it, right? Yeah? You can still stop it? That'd be impressive. I'm saying I couldn't stop it. Yeah. So see that flare hand coming between your legs. See that big aggressive step into your Turk. See it in your head right now. Visualize it. Everybody got it? Okay, come here, be my partner real quick. So I've done my flare finish and I've stepped to my Turk. Everybody watch. We're going to finish it. Tell me what's wrong with this picture. Yes. Guys, this is the biggest part. Getting those knees tight. Not my Turk leg, my free leg getting up near his gut. I want to knee him right in the belly and I'm squeezing tight so there's no wiggle room. I get my hips into him a little bit. I press on his back. What's wrong with this picture?
Big X.
Skinny X. Now, I'm going to drop my Turk for a little bit and release the pressure, just for a second. I have to control the space under his chin to turn. Everybody got that? You know how I get to it? By being a tough SOB. I'm not nice here. This guy's going to fight like crazy. He's going to hide his face. That's my weapon. Everybody make a fist. Now take the tip of your thumb and stick it inside. Everybody feel your knuckle. That's kind of hard, right? Now take that knuckle and start rubbing it on your face. Put it in your eyeball. Don't do that. That's mean. That's too dirty, right? Put it in that temple. Get it on his nose. I'm trying to get him to give me that space, right? Because when he shows me his throat, guess what time it is? Time to cut it off. I got him. My turn. So I'm going to make that blade, and I'm going to make him give me that space. This dude's really tough. Is he going to give it to me in a big match? I can't get under. Take the hand on the small of his back, put it on his forehead. Everybody see where my hand went? Guess what time it is? Throat cutting time. Pick his chin up. Do I have the space? Absolutely. I cut his throat, figuratively. I don't know what you guys got in your pockets right now. Nobody cut any throats in here. I don't know how to fix that. I can help wrestling techniques, but patching throats together is outside of my area of expertise. Then my palm goes on the flat of his back. Don't cup his head. He'll just reach his hands up and peel me off, and now I got to start all over. Cut his throat, pat him on the back. It's all right, buddy. You'll get the next guy. It's okay. Now I point his chin up, and then I start elevating my Turk. Everybody see my foot hopping? That is how I elevate my Turk, not by losing the pinch of my legs. I elevate by hopping on this toe. Then just have your partner fight to his belly as hard as he can. And hold, go ahead, bridge hard, fight, and learn to float and hop on that Turk. I'm getting my near fall. I got my 5 count. I turn my 2 points into 5 points. So everybody got it. So you're starting in on your double. I'm not going to take you through the steps. You're going to 1, 2, bring your hips to the party, big flare, speed, big step to your Turk, go throat. Everybody got it? Then I want the partner to bridge hard. He needs to be a good partner. You got to learn how to control that Turk. And it comes from thigh pinch, from skinny X, and from hopping to elevate your foot. We got it? Double leg drill, double leg flare drill to our Turk finish. Go over. Everybody thinks pinning a guy is the hardest way to win. It is not. It is the easiest way to win. The reason you don't pin people is because you don't practice it. Every time you take a guy down, put him on his back. How much more time does it take to Turk him than just finish a double?
Maybe 3 seconds.
Maybe a second or 2 or 3 more, but none, right? No more time. But if you're practicing that every rep, you're practicing putting the guy on his back. Guess what works on top too, guys? Turks. Who's going to be wrestling Fargo here in a little while? You want to mess a dude up on parterre, drop back, lift his knee, and Turk him. They never expect it. You know what my best freestyle turn is? Turk. Inside and outside. So really the only way. Actually, they're working on my gut wrench. It's getting a lot better. I'm getting there on it. That's the main way I turn people's turkey. They never expect it. They think leg lace, they bring your butt up, and you're like, thanks. That's easy. You just tip them and you tip them and you tip them and the match is over. It is one of the best holds there is. But we're going to take our Turk from our double leg and turn it into a cradle, bottom leg cradle. If you get a bottom leg cradle, the match is over. So, for the sake of time, with Coach Laser, I've started in my Turk and I've got it. Everybody good with it? When you go back out, you're starting in your double leg. So I've got my Turk, I've got my throat cut, I've got my near fall. I'm not done with it. I'm not going to let him belly out. So the main thing I do not want to happen is this leg to make it down to the mat. Because now his hips are facing the mat, right? I have to turn his hips before I turn him. So there's a lot of work to do. So right when I settle back, you're flexible. Did you guys see that? That was kind of impressive. I know it might not be to you guys, but man, my leg doesn't do that. So when I settle back after getting my turn, I'm going to take my hand in between his legs so he can't turn his hip down. Now, I'm going to reverse walk my Turk. So instead of making a skinny X, I'm going to make a T. See how I brought his foot out? I'm keeping my hips off of him. When you're doing this, your hips will stay in. Now I'm going to sit back on his foot. See how I've got pressure on his foot where he can't get through, and I keep his leg split. From the leg split, I'm going to drop elbow deep around his leg. He's in trouble. He just doesn't know it yet. Once I get elbow deep around his leg, I turn and I don't look at that ugly face. I'm going to elevate that bottom leg and attack his head for my bottom leg cradle. The match is over. All I have to do is not mess it up. So the way I pin in a bottom leg cradle is like a bulldozer. We'll do near side cradle finishes. It's the greatest pin and hold in all of wrestling. We'll do those. But bottom leg, all I do is run him over. I sprawl back. This is not a joke. I sprawl back. And then I use my chest to run him over to his back. Feet wide, chest on top, like I'm pinning in a half Nelson. So from the jump, from our Turk, I've got my takedown. I've got my near fall. Am I done with him? No. What's the first thing I have to do when I settle back? Split his legs first. I take my free arm as I settle back and I split his legs. Now I reverse walk my Turk out and make a T. So from my Turk, what's the first step? Split his legs as I sit back. Reverse walk my Turk, make a T. What's next?
Elbow deep in his leg.
Not yet. Sit back. As I sit back and pinch, elbow goes deep. Don't look at that ugly face. Catch my cradle. What do I do now to finish it? Sprawl back. Use my chest to bulldoze him over. Forehead in the mat, feet wide, chest drops on him. Time for him to go find a Dippin' Dot stand so he feels a little better about himself. Cookies and cream where it don't count. It's only Dippin' Dot's flavor. Nothing else works. You probably like bubble gum, don't you? Weirdo. Any questions about changing that Turk to bottom leg cradle? Does anybody need to see it again? Yeah, I did a bunch of steps in a row, but you guys I think can handle it. I'll do it one more time. So you guys walk me through. I got my Turk in, I've hit my double leg, I've got my near fall.
Split the legs.
Sit back and
Split his legs.
split his legs.
Make a T.
Make a T, bring my Turk with me.
Sit back.
Sit back.
Elbow deep.
Elbow deep.
Don't
look
look
at
at
him.
his face. Sprawl back. Use your chest to bulldoze him up. Tripod.
You guys got it. You ready to start in the double leg, end up pinning him?
Yes.
It seems like a hard thing when you start from neutral, right? Now you know the steps. You double, you flare feed, you Turk him, you settle back, you bottom leg cradle, and the match is over. Ready for the next round. And in just a minute, we'll do it from our inside step, which will turn into a high crotch, which will turn into a low finish, which will turn into a Turk, which will turn into a bottom leg cradle, which will turn into pinning the guy. And I know you're like, but I promise that's how you'll start thinking. Pinning the guy's not hard. All I have to do is get on top or hit a high crotch or a double leg. Then I go to my Turk and then I go to my cradle and then I